So, remember the sticks that we used to hold the plastic down when the plants were brand new? We'll use that again here to hold this wetting tool down. It's about 4 feet wide, just the perfect width for these plants. You can see some bird damage. The birds like strawberries too. They don't eat the whole thing. I guess they would if they weren't so nervous. But they take a bite out of a strawberry and just ruin it for you and me, really. Would you take this in and maybe cut the bad spot off and use the rest? But look at all of the strawberries that they've taken a bite out of. Let's find some more. This one's even hard to see, yet way down underneath there, they chewed it up. There's a nice strawberry. They just bit the end off of it. There's one that's just almost gone. So I think one bird notices, and that bird goes and gets all the rest of the birds in the valley. And they come and eat my strawberries. Of course, nobody else has that problem, right? There's another one. Look at this big juicy strawberry with bird bites all over it. Ah. These plants aren't real big, so the strawberries are real obvious, and the red attracts the birds. One little peck out of that one. You know, before we put some wetting tool down the row, we should notice there are a few weeds, not very many, but you can see some weeds here surrounding this little strawberry plant. We'll reach in there and pull him out. Sometimes it's good to hold on to the strawberry plant so both plants don't come out at the same time. Especially when you see a weed this big. Look at the size of that one. They grow so fast. Wow. Yeah, so I'm going to have to hold the strawberry with one hand, hold it down, and slowly wiggle and wiggle and wiggle. Make sure all of the branches are clear of the strawberry so that that whole plant doesn't come up out of the ground. In fact, I don't know how we're going to do that. It's so entangled. Looks like it needs to come out from the far side. I just broke this crown off. Okay, it looks like it'll go. Yeah, it's growing from the far side there. I'm gonna hold those strawberries down. And pull that big root out of there, and I'm sure the strawberry roots are going to be slightly damaged. This one broke off. Okay, so here's a good example of why we plant strawberries every third year. This root is only 2 months old, and already it had 3 crowns on it. Here's one that just has 1 crown. Here's one that's developing 2 or 3 crowns. Yeah, there's 2 at least right there. Here's one that has 2. And by the end of the season, there will be 4 or 5 crowns on each plant. Then next year, you can imagine, it just continues to do that. And so by the end of next year, there will be 6 to 10 crowns on each plant. That's each root. One root has more than one crown. And then by the beginning of the third year, the fruit just is going to be so small because there are so many crowns on one root that the root can't support the numbers of crowns, and you begin to get small fruit. So in the beginning of the third year, we take them out. Here's one. See, already has 2 crowns coming in. These plants are only 1 month old. There's a little weed. Get him. There's a pretty small plant. 2 crowns. Look at that. There's one with a single crown. Here's one with a single crown. So unless on the beginning of the third year we don't take all of our plants out, we end up with tons of small strawberries, and we experimented with that twice. We thought, oh, we can't take these plants out. They'll be just fine. What you could do maybe is prune the crowns off, but I like the fresh strength of a new strawberry plant, and so every third year, there's a big one and a little weed right next to that little tiny strawberry. Little weed out of get that out of there. I see another one right there. And if you don't stay on top of these weeds, they can get real enormous, especially grass. The grass roots don't want to come out of the ground. And so if grass comes up along a strawberry plant, it's just almost doomed. So if you catch the weeds very slow, very small, this weed is bigger than the strawberry plant. That pulls on that dirt surrounding the strawberry plant to pull a root this big out from around it. So you have to pack the dirt back around the plant, stand it up a little bit and pack it that way. If the weeds come up that easily through these little tiny holes, can you imagine the numbers of weeds we would have if there was no mulch? Okay, next row looks pretty good. We did weed these once here a few days ago, but wow, they grow so fast. There's a weed. This row looks a little better. Oh, there's one. You can see him right there. Pull him out of there too. Make sure we get it all. That side looks pretty good. Ah, here's some bindweed growing out of the side of this one. This long stringy stuff grows very quickly and entangles itself around everything it can find, grows up like morning glory, which is what it is, called bindweed, and then pulls it down to the ground when it dries out and destroys the plant. Okay, any more weeds on this third row? There's one. And a little dandelion or milkweed right there alongside. Pull him out too. A few weeds on the end we can tend later. And these weeds that come up in the carpet or between the carpet, see that carpet didn't overlap right here. This is what the whole garden would look like. Grass, pigweed, bindweed, mallow, buttonweed. Okay, look at that. How's that? That looks better. All right, let's head back down here and work on this wedding tool layout. There's another little one. They grow so big so fast that when you see them, we should pull them out. Right there, little tiny weed. Okay.